seated. Thank you. Morning. Provost Kumar, members of the Peabody Institute Advisory Board, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and alumni of the Peabody Institute, and of course, members of the graduating class of the Peabody Conservatory. And by the way, you look great. Yeah. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Peabody Conservatory's 135th graduation exercises, which are part of the commencement exercises closing the Johns Hopkins University's 141st academic year. I want to offer my heartiest congratulations to each and every one of our graduates here today. I'm also delighted to see so many parents, relatives, and friends here to celebrate with you, our graduating students. I know that your families have shared in every challenge and every success that you've experienced throughout your time here at Peabody. You could not have achieved that which we celebrate today without their counsel and support. So to the families of our graduates, we say thank you. I also want to recognize and thank our truly remarkable faculty for the critical and guiding role they have played in bringing you, our students, to this point today. We owe you, our faculty, a debt of gratitude for your great commitment to these students. It's now my honor to invite the Provost of Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Sunil Kumar, to the podium to offer a greeting on behalf of the university. Provost Kumar.
Thank you, Dean Bronstein. It is a great honor to be here today with our graduates and their loved ones. I'm doubly honored to be among the first to congratulate the graduating class of 2017. Let's give them a hand for a job exceptionally well done. Today's graduates know as well as anyone that Peabody and Johns Hopkins require a great deal from their students. There have probably been times during the course of your studies when some of you thought too much was expected. But you persevered. You accomplished the difficult, and in some cases, the seemingly impossible. And that's as it should be. That's as it needs to be, with people as talented and determined as you. That said, no person accomplishes what we are celebrating today without the help, support, and the love of others. Graduates, I'd like you to stand. We are thankful for your dedication, and our hopes for you are boundless. But you owe at least a little bit of your success to someone else. Will you turn in that someone's direction, whether it's a parent, partner, professor, the person who listened to you, or a cup of coffee, whoever it is, and give them a round of applause. Please be seated. This is a special day, one you likely won't forget. I believe that such special days, marked by high ceremony, are days to celebrate achievement, set aspiration, and reaffirm responsibilities. I have already congratulated you for your perseverance through a challenging program. Let me also congratulate you for choosing a career in music. More importantly, let me thank you for doing so. I see you as indispensable to the world and to America. Today is a day for you to set your personal aspiration. Here, I would like to use the words of Daniel Coit Gilman, the first president of Johns Hopkins, used at his inaugural address on February 22nd, 1876. Neither Peabody nor the world is what it was then, but his words ring true nonetheless. He said, "Remote utility is quite as worthy to be thought of as immediate advantage. Those ventures are not always the most sagacious that expect a return on the morrow. It sometimes pays to send our argosies across the seas to make investments with an eye to slow but sure returns. In setting your aspiration, I encourage you to think of the long term and not just the returns to you, but of the returns to society. It won't be enough for you to do well, you must do good. To quote Gilman again, the object of the university is to develop character. It misses its aim if it produced learned pedants or simple artisans or cunning sophists or pretentious practitioners. Its purport is not so much to impart knowledge to the peoples as whet the appetite, exhibit methods, develop powers, strengthen judgment, and invigorate the intellectual and moral forces. It should prepare for the service of society a class of students who will be wise, thoughtful, progressive guides in whatever department of work or thought they may be engaged. We as a society need you to create what is currently inconceivable, to discover what has proven stubbornly undiscovered, and to reach the previously unreachable in your art and in your life. I would like to quote from an American president from a time when president's speeches lasted longer than 140 characters. In his State of the Union address in 1963, John Kennedy said, "This country cannot afford to be materially rich and spiritually poor." I believe the statement is true of the world at large, and people like you are necessary if we are to rise from our current poverty of spirit and culture. To be Gilman's guides for society is your primary responsibility, but my responsibilities for you have not ended. In the eyes of the world, you are the Peabody Conservatory and the Johns Hopkins University. The average citizen is more likely to meet one of you than one of our faculty. So represent us well. As you choose your careers and your paths through society, be sure to choose wisely so that you may find your future to be both consequential and rewarding. And may you have the wisdom to know what is both consequential and rewarding to you. I also remind you that you are now part of the Johns Hopkins family, now and forever, and there is much to be had by staying in touch. You never know how you may benefit from the relationship in the future, or how you might be able to contribute in a way that makes possible for someone else what you're commemorating today. I realize that I have asked a great deal of you without proffering much in return. Let me bestow on you a secular benediction. In Sanskrit, Saraswati, the god of art and knowledge, is described as Varade Kamarupini, a granter of wishes who takes any desired form. May your art be amenable to your wishes and take the form that you wish it to, and may it grant you all your wishes. What else is there to say but congratulations, and wish you nothing but success in your future endeavors. Make Peabody and Johns Hopkins proud.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar, and I might also add that this is his first Peabody graduation, completing his first year at Hopkins, and we're honored to have you here. Class of 2017, I'm going to have some thoughts that I want to share with you a little bit later in the program. But most importantly, we're here today to honor you with the awarding of diplomas. And just as we have contributed to your development as musicians, teachers, and scholars, so have you contributed richly to the quality of musical and intellectual life here at Peabody. We appreciate your entrusting to us the development of your individual gifts during your time here, and we wish for you all a lifetime full of opportunities to now go out and share those gifts with others. Now, because more than anything else, we are about music, to spotlight all of your many musical accomplishments, we've invited two members of your graduating class to perform at this ceremony. We're honored to present these farewell performances as representative of the class of 2017. Please welcome the first of our performers and your colleagues now.
Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? You should be excited. It is such a pleasure to hear such wonderful music played so beautifully as we celebrate your achievements today. My name is Elizabeth BERMAN, and I'm the president of the Society of Peabody Alumni. I am thrilled to give you my congratulations and to extend a warm welcome to each of you into an extraordinary, vibrant network of alumni, not just of Peabody, but as both Dean Bronstein and Provost Kumar said, but of the Johns Hopkins University. I am an alumna of both Peabody in oboe performance and the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences up at Homewood. My path to this stage began with my mom moving to Baltimore from semi-rural Mississippi, where I was born, to complete her DMA here at Peabody. Little did I know that Peabody was also in my future, where I would build the foundation for the person I am today, where I build a network of great friends, wonderful colleagues, amazing musicians, like we just heard, and meet my husband. After years of music making and instruction, nonprofit arts administration has become my calling, and I am now just 7 blocks south at Chesapeake Shakespeare Company. The biggest lesson I have learned over the last decade, and that I impart to you, is that life happens. Don't expect things to go exactly as planned, or that things will just fall into your lap. Go out and create opportunities, not just for yourself, but for your colleagues, your family, your communities. Use the networking tools of our alumni associations, yes, the Hopkins Alumni Association too, to open doors for others, and in return have doors open for you. The best way to do this, of course, is to stay connected. Our fellow Hopkins alumni, more than 200,000 individuals from 9 schools with hundreds of specialties, are a diverse group that represent all walks of life from across the country and around the world. Stick a pin in the Peabody alumni map so we know where you are and what you're doing. And go hop online where you can network with current students and alumni from across the divisions. Remember, Peabody and Hopkins are a part of who you are now. Hopefully you had as fulfilling an experience as I did as a student. Now consider how you might return that favor to the thousands of students that will follow you. We always want to hear from you, and we will always thank you for your time, your talent, and your treasure. Keep in touch, okay? Congratulations.
Good morning. It gives me great pleasure to call special attention to all of the students who have received prizes or awards for specific achievements. Their names are listed in the program, those who are graduating today, as well as those who are not. On behalf of the Conservatory, I thank the many friends of Peabody whose donations have made these awards possible. I now ask all those students, both on stage and in the hall, to stand at their places so that we might applaud them for their accomplishments. Of necessity, the names of the recipients of 3 of the prizes listed could not be included in the program because the recipients of those prizes could not be selected until after all the grades had been submitted. They are the recipients of the Azalea H. Thomas Prizes and the Peabody Alumni Award. I ask the following students to come forward when their names are called. The Azalea H. Thomas Prizes are awarded to the instrumentalist and the vocalist who graduate with the highest grade point average in music theory earned throughout the bachelor's degree program. This year we have a 4-way tie. Each of these students earned the same GPA in music theory throughout their programs, specifically a 4.0, so the prize will be shared equally among them. The Azalea H. Thomas Prize for Instrumentalists is awarded to Nicholas Betts, Garrett Hale, Elizabeth Kakaisen, and Zachary Travis. Come on up. While they remain here, this year's Azalea H. Thomas Prize to the vocalist with the highest grade point average in music theory earned throughout the bachelor degree program is awarded to Norika Zender. The Peabody Alumni Award was established by the Peabody Alumni Association and is annually awarded to the graduating student who attains the highest grade point average for the entire bachelor degree program. This year, with a grade point average of 3.99, I know. Suspense is incredible, isn't it? This year, with a grade point average of 3.99, the Peabody Alumni Award is awarded to Garrett Hale. The Excellence in Teaching Award was established in 1992 through the generosity of the Johns Hopkins University Alumni Association as a way in which each of the divisions of the university can annually recognize the extraordinary dedication and accomplishments of at least one of our many fine teachers. It is my pleasure at this time to assist Mr. Brian McMillan, Secretary of the Johns Hopkins University Alumni Association, in presenting this year's Excellence in Teaching Award. May I please ask Dr. Alexander Starkman to join us at the podium. Alexander Starkman, your international piano performance career has been lauded by critics and audiences alike for nearly 3 decades. First prize winner of the 1995 Busoni International Piano Competition, you have also been a major prize winner in the Van Cliburn International Piano Competition and the Tchaikovsky Piano Competition, as well as the first Taipei International Piano Competition. Your recital appearances have included performances at the Ambassador Foundation, Tillis Center for the Performing Arts, Tisch Center for the Performing Arts, the 92nd Street Y, Ravinia's Rising Stars series, San Francisco Performances, Regional Arts Foundation at the Kravitz Center, the Peace Center, and the Van Wetzel Performing Arts Center. Orchestral performances include the Dallas Symphony, Fort Worth Symphony and Chamber Orchestras, Chicago Sinfonietta at Orchestra Hall, Northwest Festival Orchestra, Marin Symphony, and the Chamber Orchestra of Albuquerque. A member of the piano faculty at the Peabody Conservatory since 2002, you have served as teacher, mentor, and role model, displaying a genuine and completely selfless care and concern for your students' musical and personal development. While continuing to perform recitals and concertos and deliver master classes internationally, you prioritize your students and offer limitless support, making yourself approachable and available to accommodate students' needs, whether offering extra lessons ahead of important performances and auditions, or simply talking through concerns about music, life, and career. Your teaching is described as student-centered, individualized, and informed both by your artistry and musicianship, and your, quote, vast knowledge of the piano repertoire and a sophisticated musical taste, full of imagination, end quote. There exists in your studio a pure focus on helping students communicate musically and authentically. Students are grateful for your coaching and guidance, as well as your illustrative demonstrations of musical structures, phrases, and, quote, even the very small musical gestures or motives, end quote. They mark a distinction between you and other teachers in your enthusiasm for tackling even new and unfamiliar works. Students often note your extra musical instruction, particularly as it relates to the physicality of playing the piano. In teaching proper body, arm, and hand alignment, position, and technique, you have helped many young pianists learn to play pain-free and enabled them to go on to successful and sustainable careers as performers and teachers themselves. Your studio is described as feeling like a family, bound together by your inspiring leadership, humor, personal warmth, and encouragement. You engender an environment in which students feel safe to explore and experiment and learn to form from their own artistic opinions. You motivate students to think deeply with thought-provoking questions and open-minded discussion. The lifelong friendships which begin in your studio now form a web of affinity and support with reaches around the world. Alexander Starkman, in recognition of your many gifts and accomplishments, and with our profound gratitude for all that you are and the good that you do, it is our pleasure to present to you the Johns Hopkins University Alumni Association's Excellence in Teaching Award for 2007.
Thank you so much. I prepared a short speech. My heartfelt thanks to the Johns Hopkins University Alumni Association, to Dean Bronstein, to Senior Associate Dean Avery Bush, to distinguished members of the committee, and to everybody who nominated me and voted for me. I am deeply humbled and honored to receive this award and to join the list of past winners, many of whom I have known and admired for a long time. I'm incredibly fortunate to be working at Peabody, a special and unique place, created, preserved, and led by musicians for musicians. Its legacy and phenomenal tradition, conservatory spirit, and academic integrity make Peabody truly magical. I'm utterly privileged to be a part of our faculty, a fantastic group of inspiring, intelligent, erudite, and extraordinarily talented people who are at the very least as deserving of this honor as I am. Recognizing that certainly makes this prestigious award even more valuable. I'm rewarded with all my dear, wonderful, talented, motivated, curious, tirelessly working students. We learn together and from each other, and I'm grateful to you for all the music we've studied, all the discoveries we've made, all the ideas we've conceived. You are my inspiration and the reason why I want to go to work every day. We learn together and from each other, and if I'm here today, it is because I was blessed with brilliant and unforgettable teachers. They taught me everything, the fundamentals of our profession and secrets of our craft. But more importantly, they taught me that what we do is much larger than just a profession or a craft. It is larger than life. Every year in the fall, there is an almost palpable sense of excitement, aspiration, hope, and expectation when hundreds of students enter this hall to become a new class. They come from all over the world, from different cultures, backgrounds, and social groups. What they have in common is their passion to make music, their thirst for knowledge, and their innate striving for excellence. They are ready to transform their lives. They come to work hard and dream big. Jack Kerouac said, "The only truth is music." Friedrich Nietzsche said, "Without music, life would be a mistake." We are here to ensure that people find this truth and make no such mistake. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sasha. We're really proud of you. It's now my honor to introduce our guest speaker for this 135th Peabody Conservatory Commencement. A three-time Grammy Award winner, internationally renowned violinist, Hilary Hahn is known for her virtuosity, expansive interpretations, creative programming, and commitment to sharing her musical experiences with a broad global community. Hilary started violin lessons at age 3 in the Suzuki program here at Peabody. And at age 5, she began lessons with preparatory teacher Clara Berkovich, who I believe is here today. Clara, you there? Wave. Hilary entered the Curtis Institute at age 10 and completed requirements at age 16 after making her solo debut with several major orchestras. After further study, she received her bachelor's degree at age 19 and was already a full-time touring musician. Hilary Hahn has released 16 albums, 3 DVDs, an Oscar-nominated movie soundtrack, and an award-winning recording for children. Spanning an extremely wide range of repertoire, her recordings have received every critical prize in the international press and have met with equal popular success. Also an avid writer, Hilary frequently posts journal entries on her website and has published articles in the mainstream media. She produces a YouTube channel where she interviews colleagues about their experiences in music, and her violin case comments on life as a traveling companion on Twitter and Instagram. Please join me in welcoming Hilary Hahn.
Hello, future graduates, families, faculty, and friends. Thank you, Dean Bronstein, for inviting me and for the kind introduction. It means a lot to me to be here today. I mean, I have this robe and it's great. But I have so many memories from the Peabody campus. The Peabody Prep is where I became a violinist. Fred just told a little bit of the first part of my story, so I am going to skip ahead to the fact that I've been coming to the downtown prep to study since 1985. Of course, I took some years in between, but I'm back right now today. I was at this campus every Saturday as a kid, taking lessons, musicianship classes, and ballet. During the week, I took piano lessons. My first full violin recital took place at Leakin Hall, now known as Goodwin Hall, when I was 10. All my friends from ballet class came, and they all sat in the front row. No pressure. It's funny to be speaking on this stage, because my strongest memory of a non-violin performance of mine is my last ballet performance about a quarter century ago on this same stage. I can't say that of any other stage in the world. A couple of years ago, I happened to be in town and saw that there was going to be an organ concert in the renovated Griswold Hall, where I used to sit in on Brelsinovsky's studio master classes. I thought I would check out the space for old time's sake, so I went to that concert. At intermission, a group of students, maybe some of you, were waiting for me in the hallway. Apparently, word went out that I was in the house. I was very honored and completely surprised because when I come back to Peabody, in my mind, I'm still an 8-year-old prep kid. I learned to play ping pong here. It's a very important musician life skill. In fact, I played so hard that I broke my tailbone diving backwards for the perfect shot. My heart is racing. This is so exciting, but I'm only speaking and you're graduating. Looking at you, I'm reminded of my own graduation when I got my bachelor's degree. It was the first graduation I'd attended, and I was very busy with my own thoughts to the extent that I remember nothing of what was said in the speech. So right now, let's acknowledge what's really happening. For 10 seconds, I'll time it, I want you to say under your breath exactly what you were thinking. And I'll do it too. Let's get it all out. You have to do it. Don't leave me hanging. Okay. Let's see. Go. Cool, thank you. And now, let's do a crescendo to get our voices working. Let's do a crescendo of speech, 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 speech. It can be anyone's speech, it doesn't have to be mine. So start quietly and wind up at your maximum, and singers use your vibrato. Okay. Speech, 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 speech. Bravo. I don't think that was your maximum. Can we just shout it one time? Like, speech! Can we do that? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Speech! Oh. Okay, as Dr. Seuss said, fun is good. When I was thinking about what I should say today, I made a list of things that normally go into a commencement address. It's a very specific kind of speech. It's in the middle of the morning, and the audience has to sit through it. For a performer, that can be awkward. But then I kept circling back to what I wish I'd learned before I graduated, and I decided to use this time to try to help a little bit. Because really, anecdotes, which are a staple of commencement speeches, they're things that happened to me once, but they're not a part of my everyday. What I really want to talk about is something that's often overlooked, but that everyone faces. It's something I've thought about a lot: how to connect equal and opposite experiences, problems, and solutions. If one of the few guarantees in life is that you will be surprised, then what are you going to do with the surprises? Let's do a thought experiment. Let's pretend it's tomorrow. Imagine all of your schooling is behind you. You have the tools to keep improving and to make a difference in the world. And now this is your time. There's only one thing you have to do to start this new phase of your life. Start asking yourself questions. Start with, am I content? And if the answer is no, then what am I going to do about it? If this sounds naive, why? Do you believe that dissatisfaction leads to great work? Or is it selfish to want to be fulfilled? Think about it this way. If your path is making you miserable, are you able to contribute fully to your field, give to the community, even just meet expectations? Music is and should be very much about serving others. We do our best for the composer, for the audience, for education. We donate our time, share our love for our art, and we try to create things of beauty for other people. This in turn often gives us happiness. Yet there's annoyance in certain environments, and there are jaded musicians. That's normal. Those are human nuances. I strongly believe that it's reasonable to want to feel in some way that you're doing what you're meant to be doing. Even if that's an impossible dream, it's worth pursuing. Maybe you can make it happen outside of work, through a hobby, a second profession, or in your personal life, or within the work that you wind up doing. But you can't just will that magic to happen. Sometimes you're gonna get stuck. You'll feel like you're trying to cook, you have ingredients and the name of a dish, but there's no recipe. Besides a Google search, how do you bridge the gap? I have 3 suggestions. 1, take stock of yourself. By asking yourself open-ended questions, you can coax out some truth. There are questions like, am I content? You heard that one before. What are my strengths? Am I helping the people I want to help? Do I feel supported or torn down? It might sound wishy-washy, but the thing is, it's helpful. I started asking myself these kinds of questions after landing in a couple of situations that weren't drawing on my strengths. I don't try to answer the questions outright. It's more a matter of being aware, keeping my eyes open for opportunities, and tinkering with the details in my life that don't sit right for me. It's a little like practicing. I'm happy with the decisions I've made this way. One thing I learned is that the problem is hardly ever what you think it is at first. For example, if you someday become obsessed with curtains, it's not about the curtains. Been there. Your mind creates its own metaphors. That's why you have to keep checking in with yourself, testing yourself. 2, identify your resources. In a recipe, these would be your ingredients, your cooking implements, and your heat source. In your life, your personal resources are things like time, knowledge, attitude, possessions, people, funding, creativity, and drive, and unproven potential. Anything you have access to. When I was figuring out which composers to commission for my 27 Encores project, my resources were my ears, the internet, recordings, tea, chocolate, and my instincts. That was probably my most homegrown project, and I'm really proud of it. 3, devise some small next steps across various parts of your life, and then take one of those steps, and another. These should be actions you are capable of taking on your own, ideas you came up with yourself. You can take big chances, as long as those chances are rooted in good intentions. If something fails, ask yourself if you want to try again, or if you should move on. Make honest efforts. Pay attention to the outcomes. And finally, if you will allow me to make one little request of every one of you sitting here today, it is to walk out into that world and show people what a strong, kind, global citizen can look like. Think about it. You are absolutely the image of now. And, classic graduation line, and it's true, you are the image of the future. Let's hear it for the class of 2017.
Good morning. I am Kylie Summer, Director of Student Affairs, and it is my pleasure to announce that Dr. Townsend Plant, Associate Dean for Enrollment and Student Life, will present the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Music, the Graduate Performance Diploma, the degree of Master of Music, the degree of Master of Arts, the Artist Diploma, and the degree of Doctor of Musical Arts to the Dean of the Peabody Institute, Dr. Fred Bronstein, and the Provost of the Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Sunil Kumar.
Would the recipients of the degree Bachelor of Music please rise? Dr. Bronstein, Dr. Kumar, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the degree Bachelor of Music. Alex Bradley Carlson, bassoon. Kevin Salamowitz, bassoon. Kevin is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Music Education. Aaron Kim, clarinet. Yifei Lee, clarinet. Nicholas Allen Bentz, composition. Nicholas is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in violin. Catherine Ools, composition. Laura Spence, composition. Sean Kaesler, computer music, composition. Matthew Sullivan, computer music, composition. Matthew is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Recording Arts and Sciences. Samuel Shreves, double bass. Sarah Lynn, early music, Baroque flute. Katrina Barr, euphonium. Luna Decker Vargas, flute. Anna Kim, flute. Marcus Kramer, guitar. Garrett Michael Pelland, guitar. Zachary Travis, horn. Jonah Scott, jazz percussion. Jonah is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Recording Arts and Sciences. Noah Dion, jazz piano. Garrett Hale, oboe. Teresa Ching Lin, oboe. Niall Casey, oboe. Philip Hagopian, piano. Xiaozhou Ouyong, piano. Michael Carter, trombone. Shane Michael Coughlin, trumpet. Nicholas Duncan, trumpet. Jisan Lee, tuba. Matthew Ordilli, tuba. Matthew is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Music Education. Hanny Lee M.I. Doyle, viola. Melina Garibovich, viola. Elizabeth Kakaisen, viola. Christopher Locke, viola. Christopher is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Computer Music Composition. Claudia Maucho, viola. Gina Marie Stonikas, viola. Sophie Mae Fortunato, violin. Nyan Ho, violin. James Benjamin Hoyt, violin. Esther Kim, violin. Kaun Julia Kim, violin. Andrew Dae Yun Kwan, violin. Hilda Lee, violin. Natalia Marajuk, violin. Katie Nakamura, violin. Ryo Usami, violin. Mirna Ilian Reinhardt, violin. Ariana Schickel, violin. Naomi Schrank, violin. Marika Suzuki, violin. Sarah Thomas, violin. Najet Abu Hadi, cello. Rebecca Chuang, cello. Juhyun Kim, cello. Catherine Elizabeth Christianberry, voice. Catherine Ashley Estes, voice. Carly Henderson, voice. Bailey Jo Hutton, voice. Bailey Jo is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Music Education. Clara Plestis, voice. Norika Zender, voice. Rebecca Zuniga, voice. Thomas Fortner, graduate performance diploma in conducting. Have you stopped there for a moment? Sorry, it's changed degrees. Would the recipients of the graduate performance diploma please rise? Dr. Bronstein and Dr. Kumar, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the graduate performance diploma. Thomas Fortner, conducting. Eric Hardy Scholes, double bass. Yin Zhu, Ensemble Arts Vocal Accompanying. Nanoka Mizukami, percussion. Daniel Jacobs, viola. Alexandra Takasugi, viola. Kaylee Accord, violin. Would the recipients of the degree of Master of Arts please rise? Dr. Bronstein and Dr. Kumar, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the degree Master of Arts. Christopher Cummins, Audio Sciences. Nicholas Dolworth, Audio Sciences. Nicholas is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Recording Arts and Sciences. Jinchang Han, Audio Sciences. Arun Ravendran, Audio Sciences. Alexander Henry Roll, Audio Sciences. Alexander is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Recording Arts and Sciences. Zhengxiao Song, Audio Sciences. Ian Streeter, Audio Sciences. Matthew Allen Weiner, Master of Sciences. Rebecca Wu, Audio Sciences. Rebecca is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in Piano and a Bachelor of Music in Recording Arts and Sciences. Dr. Bronstein and Dr. Kumar, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the degree Master of Music. James Duncan, clarinet. Carlos Bandera, composition. Gabriel Bush-Caro, composition. Cody Criswell, composition. Christian William Humke, composition. Yoon Ha Kim, composition. Christopher McCormick, composition. Daniel Reza Sabzgabeyi, composition. Matthew James Triplett, composition. Connor Elias Way, composition. Gu Wei, composition. Wei is also receiving a Master of Music in Music Theory Pedagogy. Tuo Wang, computer music composition. Alan Buxbaum, conducting. Ryan Tani, conducting. Jesus Apodaca, double bass. Yoshiaki Horiguchi, double bass, pedagogy. Theodore Michael Arthur Cheek, early music lute. Theodore is also receiving a Master of Music in Musicology. Anne Flood, Master of Music, Ensemble Arts Vocal Company. David Lee, flute. Sean Brennan, guitar pedagogy. Olivia Hayon Kim, harp pedagogy. Tianyang Chen, harp pedagogy. Samuel James Besson, horn. Samuel Jones, horn. Taryn Lee, horn. Kelsey Ross, horn. Jiao Jiao Chang, music education. Yijia Zhang, music education. Cynthia Ann Sutton, musicology. Julia Perry, oboe. Foon Yu, organ. Christina Mansior, percussion. Arlo Schultes, percussion. Matthew Steens, percussion. Wanye Ye, percussion. Belinda Chen, piano. Dayon Choi, piano. Yachun Chuang, piano. Hong Chong Ha, piano. Joo Hee Kim, piano. Youngjin Kim, piano. Yejin Lee, piano. Qinghui Lee, piano. Kyungjun Joseph Park, piano. Chiayu Sai, piano. Pinching Sai, piano. Lily Joseph Berg, piccolo. Sean Campbell, saxophone. Brad Testerman, saxophone. Brad is also receiving a Bachelor of Music in saxophone and a Bachelor of Music in voice. Sarah Lewandowski, trombone. Kate Amrine, trumpet. David Deschler, trumpet. Darren Stanger, trumpet. Stephen Andrew Needham, tuba. Kristen Hooks, viola. Nikita Borisievich, violin. Anna Kong, violin. Gabriel Lee, violin. Gabriel is also receiving a Master of Music in Early Music Baroque violin. Minjin Lee, violin. Menjiao Li, violin. Yingchen Wu, violin. Hangxian Xiao, violin. Han She, violin. Han is also receiving a Master of Music in Early Music Baroque violin. Lichia Chuang, cello. Aaron Feeney, cello. Matthew Gabriel, cello. Ethan Wagner, cello. Xiaoyang Xu, cello, pedagogy. Simone Brown, voice. Christopher Edwards, voice. Megan Elizabeth Heavner, voice. Sijuan Ho, voice. Chungfeng Li, voice. Hani Li, voice. Hani is also receiving Graduate Performance Diploma in voice. Jessica Moss, voice. Laura Snyderman, voice. Jie Zhang, voice. Elizabeth Sarian, voice, pedagogy. John Taylor Kinzel Search, voice, pedagogy. Jillian Wiley, voice, pedagogy. Dr. Bronstein and Dr. Kumar, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the Artist Diploma. Singmin Oh, flute. Sejun Park, piano. Dr. Bronstein and Dr. Kumar, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Musical Arts. Natalie Draper, composition. Daniel Alexander Gilmarca, composition. Michael Rickleton, composition. Theodore Stubbs Davis, organ. Melody Kwa, piano. Chi Shu, piano. Yongkyung Yoon, piano. John Matthew Ehrenberg, trumpet. John is also receiving a Master of Music in Musicology. Joelle Arnold, viola. Congratulations, graduates.
Okay, so I am all that stands between you and lunch. I want to begin by again saluting our graduates on your enormous accomplishments. But the first thing I want to do is to ask you to turn around again to your families and thank them again, because you owe them big time. Go ahead, do it. We know that nobody does this on their own. Now, congratulations to our graduates on all the work you've done, the hours of time you've committed to perfecting your craft, the music you've made, the subjects you've mastered, and the path you've created for yourselves for this next very important phase in your professional lives as artists, scholars, and teachers. I can't help but be struck by the fact that you've been here and done this during a very interesting and transformative time for Peabody and in the music world. I ask you to think about this in the context of your own development. Over the last several years, Peabody has moved toward taking its rightful place as a leader in reimagining the training of musicians at the highest level, but now in the context of what that means today in this second decade of the 21st century. As the oldest conservatory in the United States, Peabody holds a special place in the traditional training of professional musicians and has adhered to its core commitment to excellence in performance, composition, and other elements of the musical arts. Now we're building on that tradition and recognizing that while the focus on excellence is vital and necessary, it's not enough. And never believe that this is an either-or choice. It is both and. There's a greater context in which this training must happen and in which we must see ourselves as musicians. And this requires the ability to take stock of what you do well, tackle what you need to do better, and be bold in doing it. As we talk about transformation and change, we can look at our own recent story. Over the last year, Peabody has taken the bold step of creating a new curriculum for the 21st century, our breakthrough curriculum, which for the first time integrates into the training of every Peabody student essential skills of communicating about your art, skills for developing audiences for your art, real-time experiences in what the role of the artist is in community and what community engagement means, the impact of technology and how to leverage and master its benefits, and the ability to be a flexible, facile musician able to step into professional roles that will require you to stretch musically more than you might have ever imagined. Many of you have taken part in this work, whether participating in task force discussions through the Dean's Incentive Grants program or piloting community outreach components of the new curriculum, a curriculum which redefines what professional music training must be in this new world. Some exciting examples to point to over this past year include incentive grant-funded projects like computer music graduate student Young Wang's project, The Trace of Life, which creates an interdisciplinary composition that combines computer music, neuroscience, instrumental performance, visual arts, and dance. Or undergraduate Cynthia Sun's project measuring operating forces in string instruments, which focuses on developing a patentable device with an eye toward reducing playing-related injury. Or there's the Peabody Student String Ensemble created by faculty member Maria Lambros, which is performed throughout the community at sites as diverse as homeless shelters, veterans organizations, and prisons. These examples, along with the Peabody pop-ups that continued this past fall, sending more than 30 Peabody students out across Baltimore for a series of impromptu performances, all speak to the idea of finding new and important ways to see ourselves as musicians, to engage audiences, and to make music relevant and accessible for more people, to truly give the gift of music. What we do is about more than any single recital, performance, or audition, as important as that is. It means thinking about how to be prepared for a more expansive role as an artist. This is important because if we don't think about our role in developing and growing audiences, who will be there to listen? If we don't think about diversifying and broadening our view of what our field entails, how will we broaden and diversify our audiences? Peabody is leading in a meaningful way. Who benefits from this? First, our students are the beneficiaries because they learn to be great musicians and teachers in the context of a world in which they will find themselves. The community benefits because what better way to intersect with and serve our community than by making it an extension of the classroom and studios here on campus? And the performing arts organizations that you will enter in the years ahead benefit because you will bring a bright new perspective that is badly needed in the world of the traditional performing arts, especially music, and most especially classical music. As we approach the 40th anniversary of Peabody's affiliation with Johns Hopkins University, We are also taking steps towards leveraging that unique relationship and competitive advantage that we hold as part of a world-renowned research university. The evolving Center for Music and Medicine, which has as its dual focus and emphasis on injury prevention and wellness for performing artists who depend on their bodies in very much the same way that athletes do, along with studying the palliative use of music on a range of disorders from Parkinson's to Alzheimer's disease. Here too, Peabody is prepared to lead and is already doing so with projects like development of the smart guitar, screenings for vocalists so that they understand their own physiology, a health and wellness-focused seminar series, and a proposed clinic for performing arts injury that will be set up right here at Peabody. What an enormous benefit this work can have, indeed is already having for our students who in coming to Peabody can learn early on how to navigate and perhaps even avoid debilitating and career-threatening injury. These projects and others have already benefited from bringing together more than 70 partners in various medical disciplines as this initiative grows. We're also thinking broadly about program development. We're expanding dramatically Peabody's online presence, including programs in wellness that can serve our alumni, which you're about to become, and other professionals, starting a conservatory-level dance program and a new media program focused on creating and producing music for video, augmented, and virtual reality. This is cutting-edge stuff which builds on a core strength here in composition and recording arts and complements an expanded commitment to music of our time, which many of you took part in as members of our new music ensemble, Now Hear This, or as performers on 2 recordings in as many years by the Peabody Symphony Orchestra for Naxos Records' American Masters Series, conducted by 2 world-renowned conductors, Marin Alsop and Leonard Slatkin. At the same time, our Peabody Diversity Pathway Task Force work has begun in earnest, focusing on a range of issues from programming and curriculum to recruitment of students from underrepresented minorities, to issues of inclusion and diversity on campus. We recognize here that the work is just beginning, not just for Peabody, but for our field. Here too, we can lead. The seriousness with which we take this issue is critical. There may not be easy answers, and these may not always be easy conversations, but they're necessary conversations, and there are answers. Again, I relate this issue back to our field in saying that if we want to broaden and expand audiences, we must broaden the backgrounds of the artists on our stages. And that will result in a broader depth to the excellence we always seek, and it does in time build audiences by welcoming new people to the experience. It's both the right thing to do as well as enlightened self-interest. Today's graduates have already experienced elements of these changes. The fact that you've been in an environment discussing change and innovation should be good training for what you're going to find in your futures. Because make no mistake about it, ready or not, the changes that have impacted so many fields and professions are going to continue in our profession unabated. Your ability to be flexible, to navigate, be prepared for, and embrace changes in our field, in audiences, programming, venues you'll perform in, our very definition of what performance means. These are all central to your futures as artists. You've witnessed important changes at this institution as we set a course for Peabody's role in professional training in Baltimore and at Johns Hopkins University. When Peter Sellers visited Peabody recently for a Dean's Symposium and a number of working sessions with students, many of us were astounded by Peter's perspective on life, music, and our profession. He is astonishing in so many ways. He and I had a chance to talk about our 4 strategic pillars of excellence, interdisciplinary experiences, innovation, and community connectivity. In true Peter fashion, he looked immediately at the pillars and remarked, no, this is great, it's exactly right, but you must reverse these. Begin with community and innovation, and when you do that right, that results in excellence. Like many things in life, we're coming full circle. Peabody was founded as a cultural center, a concert series, a museum, a lecture series, a library, even before it became the Preparatory, and Conservatory. This holistic view of what it means to be a musician has come full circle. We build on our tradition of excellence, but understand that we must be in and of the community, the university community, the civic life of Baltimore, and the international community. We have a major role to play, and with all its accomplishments of the last 160 years, I am sure that Peabody's best days are ahead, and yours as graduates in the future of our art form are as well. But it depends on your carrying forth and being prepared to seize the opportunities that come, some of which may be unexpected, and that you do so with a flexibility and openness that will serve you and music well. Good luck. We're really, really proud of you.